what happens when your right becomes wrong to benefit peace, to bring peace in the relationship so that the circle can stop? With one argument or one indifference, after a minute, a slick-mouthed person might say, "You're correct. You are correct, and I am wrong. Forgive me." But at the same time, I have to find my peace in the situation. Just because I still don't think you're right, but so that this circle can stop with this incident. So how could you help me?
So I used to do what you're saying, which is just to stop it, I would do that. But I didn't have the heart connection. So the difference was I did it so that things could be better and move forward. But I didn't do it for the person. So someone was just telling me the other day, one of my relatives, my aunt married this guy. He had a set of 2 kids with his former wife. So when he married my aunt, they came to live with my aunt and he. All these years, I knew when I was growing up that those 2 kids didn't feel the same. They didn't feel as loved or whatever. So my cousin was telling me, "Oh, I heard her just recently repeating the story to someone, and she said, my dad stole us away from my mother." Really, it was the mom that gave them to the dad to go live with his new wife. But you know, she said, I didn't even correct him. Sometimes people need that. There was something that happened with my husband and I. It wounded me very deeply. I felt that I didn't have what I needed from him at a certain key point, a key time. Now, you know, a lot of times you argue about stuff, you don't even remember what you argued about. But you know, when it cuts deep, you remember. And I could not move past that because know what it did? The wound hurt me and it made me then become afraid. Suppose he's not there for this thing or that. Do you understand? And we went around and around and about that for, I'm talking about years. Until finally, unfortunately, he said he really didn't even remember all of the details. And it's unfortunate, but it does happen. That's why I was saying, I looked at his emotion and I knew that he needed that. I'm not talking about just being passive aggressive and saying, you're right, don't, you know, and it's, you know, just sort of the situation. I'm saying you do it for them because you love that person so much that you honor them above yourself. That their welfare to you is more important than your position in the argument. That's what I'm talking about. When that happened, something happened to me. So my husband was able to say he was sorry about that. I needed that. I needed for him, it was the only thing that was able to cut me from the tether, that rope that had me tethered to something that happened in my past. I couldn't move past it until he was able to say, I'm sorry for, and specifically specify what it was. Because, you know, you can cut a tree down, but if you don't get rid of that stump, it will grow back. He had to go do the root work and say specifically, I didn't do this. This made you feel, and now I realize my error. And here's the thing. He was going through grief. He had lost his mom, and I understood that. But he was never able to recognize it and say, yeah, that, you know, had some bearing or that. So, I mean, it wasn't like but I needed that. So what I'm saying is a little different, though. It's not just for peacemaking. It's for king-making also. It's for the legacy that you're building out. So because I love and I prefer you above myself, I'm more concerned about how you feel than anything else. And when I take that big thing and I make it so small, it gives them the power to make a lot of other things small too about me. And so on, and so on, and so on. So that we begin to keep the main thing the main thing.
Amen.
Do I have time for another question? Yeah. Just this gentleman here. How am I on time, Xavier? Okay.
Hey, Dr. Jacquie.
Hi.
Hi. In relation to the theme this morning, the power of being wrong, I started to look at comparing that to conflict. Many times we try, with myself, I'm not afraid of conflict. I don't look for conflict, but I'm not afraid of it. But I think sometimes we're afraid of conflict, especially in a relationship,